Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another business numerology. We are talking about the month of May today, and back with me is Tricia Gunberg, Master Reiki and Numerologist. Hi, Tricia.
I like that. Master Reiki, Master Numerologist. Yes,
Yes,
works.
or both. Reiki, Master Reiki. Yeah,
I like it.
okay. Sweet. So,
Yep.
what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about May, but do we want to share the yummy bit first that this shit works? Or we want to wait and talk about the energy of May first?
Share it.
You want to share it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, well, I'll share mine and then you'll share yours, yes?
Sure.
Okay. But in a nutshell, we're using numerology. That's the energy of the month, and then very specifically the energy of the day. So we take that number, and then we do a job that is similar to that number. And then when I do a reading for someone, I take their challenges from their life path and from their business life path, and then that's what I hone in on. So I did a reading just this morning. And I asked her what her challenges were, but she didn't email them to me. So they weren't part of my reading. I was like, that's okay. We get to the reading. I tell her that her challenge is the number 1 and the number 2. The number 1 is working independently, and then the number 2 is co-creating. And she's like, oh, that's my challenge, and I wrote it down. And I just didn't share it with you. Is figuring out that, yes. And I was like, oh, shit works, right? It does.
It does.
So it's 11:11 on the clock, 1:11 on the clock, just so you know.
Yes.
So she was delighted, and then I was reminded again that this does work, that the numerology is going to show you what you need to work on and what your strengths are, and then it works. So Tell me the story of how this works for you.
So, in looking at the number 2, let's say, and where I can connect with people, I decided last minute to change my latest offer. I was going to stay with one-on-one coaching, make it kind of a quick coaching, and I decided, you know what? No, I'm going to go group because I want people to connect with each other. I'm going to help them and coach them, but we're going to do it in a community. And I changed it the day before I launched, which was crazy because there's
organized. That would, okay.
Yeah, there was a lot to do, right? I had to change my sales page and my emails and just all the things. But that's what felt right for me for that connection, the creation, the community. And it worked. And I'm leading the group, and we finish up this month in May. And so, yeah, it
felt good. And even though you did it at last minute, which is not how you do things, but you're like, well, let's try this. And it worked to make connections, that magic of the number 2. And you did it on a 2-day.
Yes, because I have your calendar that we put in the show notes. I have one printed out for each month, and I look at it daily. And it's very helpful for me to plan my week and my day. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm glad I gave that to you. So now those that are listening to this, let me just recap again. 2024 is the 8 energy. So that's a nice little umbrella. This year is just a good year to manifest. So positive thoughts and what we want to manifest every day of the year. Then we have the umbrella energy of this month that we're discussing, which is May. I know it's the 5th month, so we take the 5 and we add it to the 8. We get a 13, but we've got to add it again. So the 1 and 3 equals a 4. We're going to talk about the elements of the number 4. So if you're a life path 4, you're a teacher, and it really twirls your skirt to make a list and check it off. And that is, well, you are a octave of the number 4. You're an 8, right? You're a 28. So you have that octave of the 4, and that really trips your trick. I mean, that's just how you get things done. You just apply that to anything, right? Make a list, get it done.
Yeah. GSD.
Yes. And then, yes. And not everybody, they don't function that way or get as much of a charge out of it, but our fours and our eights do. That's that organization, right? You are the boss of bosses, and so you better be really organized. And a teacher. Okay, what else? What I had chose for entrepreneurs, though, the energy of the number 4, is long-term goals. Because, and I just saw this, I don't know if you follow Gary V.
I do.
But yeah, and he was saying, like, he said the same thing as I'm going to tell you. You got to put yourself in a dreamy place of what your goals are for your business. Like, if somebody told you this was your goal, you'd be like, no way. Okay, that's how lofty and dreamy that it needs to be for your long-term goals. And then, of course, then we back it up, right? We go, oh, well, how do I get there? Because maybe it's like 10 years or maybe it's 20 years. And that's what I did for myself. I channeled my goals like, was it 2000, maybe 15, I think. I knew what I was going to do, but didn't know what I was thinking of all the things. And what I had channeled, the two things, it was unbelievable to me. I was like, there's no way. Where did this come from? It really came from like, well, how is it related to my business? It was way out there. Well, long story short, it took me a while to see it, but I'm gaining on it. And here's the thing, like, okay, especially me, I'm a life path 1. And if I don't accomplish what I had decided, then the F word comes up. Because I'm very ego driven, right?
Okay.
I need success and I want to have it be, and I can't even see if it was any version of what I said. I can't even see it because I'm so ego driven. Leo too, and life path.
Oh, wow. Whew.
Yeah. So, but with this framing of it, and it being so big, I thought to myself, if I accomplish this much of what I will feel successful. So that's how big my long-term goal was. And then I really had to like, wow, really you use a microscope to see what I could accomplish with it. So that's what we want us to do, or what I suggest we do.
Okay.
And I know you've got an approach to this.
I do. I bring in the strategy and the organization around it because I'm out there also, right? Big goals, big dreams, intuition, but I really like to bring it tangible as well. And so I created a workbook on long-term goals, like your success as an entrepreneur long-term. For me, like you said, go so big. So even 5 years, you can 10 years. You said 20 years. To me, when I think 20 years, that it's a little too big for me, but that's okay. But it's good to stretch ourselves. So this workbook that I created, it has some journal prompts, and then it has your different life areas and where you want to be specifically. So when we're talking business, I'm like, profit. How much do you want to be making in 10 or 20 years?
Specific in that way. Mm-hmm.
Very specific. How many clients do you want to have? How much impact do you want to have made? I think that's a really good one.
And the 4 really finds that very yummy, that very organized. Do you have any tools that will kind of bust us out of that very...
The kind of the smaller scope?
Or more dreamy?
More dreamy. Well, if I want to get dreamy and not just writing down, then I want to create. And so I mentioned this in a past month, but vision board.
Ah, yes.
And again, for me, I'm not going to go collect a bunch of magazines and sit there and cut them out because I don't have time for that. That's too much.
But somebody might have enjoyed the cutting and the meditation. Okay.
Yeah. I just don't have the patience for that. My method is Canva. They have templates to create your own vision board.
Fun. And there's so many pictures in there for inspiration. Oh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah. And so it was the end of last year. I started with my business where I want to be 10 years. And then I did one personally. And then if any of you have used Canva, you can actually click a button and print it. And so it sent it to Staples for me. I said what size I wanted, if I wanted it
What? You
glossy.
went that far?
I did. Yes. And it wasn't, I don't know, maybe $5, $7. I don't even know.
It, you're making art. That's the important part.
I mean, I thought it was
And I
creative.
have a video on too. The power of the pen. This is a
Yes.
weapon. It's powerful. Pens and pencils, and when we write our intentions down, right? That's how we got shelves. We thought at first, then we drew a picture, right? And then it became to be. So writing things down. Yes.
Yep. Yeah. And seeing it every single day. So seeing those pictures of my shotgun house in New Orleans or, me at a all inclusive, just in the pool with a Mai Tai, things
Yeah.
like that of like, okay, yes, that is where I'm going. And then
Yes.
looking at it every day as a reminder. And then you can take the workbook, right? And you can do the journal prompts, you can
Yes.
write all the things.
Yep.
But then after you do all of that, okay, well, then what?
Then what? Well, you grab my calendar. You grab my calendar, right? And you put them in there. And if organization and making those long-term goals is what you want to do this month, we suggest we've got the tools. The two of us, isn't that beautiful how we work together? We've got the tools for our entrepreneurs. So their best days, the universal energy of the number 4 is strong on May 9th. It is May 18th. See, May 18th and May 27th.
Okay. Ooh. So that'd be a good one to kind of work on that. And then after Memorial Weekend, just go big with your vision.
Go big. And even if you've done, it might be good days to look back if you've already if you've already did the plan, right? Take a look at that plan or tweak your plan or maybe give yourself some points for what you have accomplished in that plan.
Oh, that is such a great idea, Tricia. I think, especially for entrepreneurs, we're going so quickly and hustling that we don't stop to look back at what we've accomplished.
Yes, you've got to make that that gratitude list and sitting in that feeling of accomplishment. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't think that's ego driven. I think it's just a reminder of how far we've come.
Oh, no.
And right, kind of like yes, keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I think
that
that's
has
great.
nothing. So I talked about myself and the goals and not making them and how that becomes an ego thing when you don't make the goals, right? But it's important to sit in gratitude with what you've accomplished.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how you're gonna grow, and that's the energy that you need to be in, not the failure energy, but the focus on what you have accomplished.
Yeah. And I would add that it also reminds me that I stretched myself in that moment of fear and did it anyway, and it worked.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Stretch yourself. Good.
Yes. So real quickly, I just wanted to suggest book Big Magic, Elizabeth Gilbert. I think that is a great one for kind of getting dreamy and thinking about all the things you could do.
Okay.
Right? To kind of go out there. And then I really like the podcast Diary of a CEO. And his name is Stephen Bartlett, and he interviews different CEOs, and they cover all kinds of topics, but it always gives me inspiration on, just my vision and how I could go bigger because other people are doing it.
Okay. And then I recommend, and I've recommended this before, This Is Something More. By Sandra, how do we say her name? Sarah, Ban Brethnich.
Yeah.
This is one of the first ones that opened me up. I'm trying to think if this was one of the walking meditations that I did, and it might have been. But a walking meditation is always good too for that dreamy land.
Yes.
But that also is very specific. Well, you like to walk, but you have a 1 in your life path. You're a walker. I'm a 1. I'm a walker, and that is just a connecting to your body. So the walking meditation is good for those that have a 1 in their life path. So you know that. I know that. So now those that are listening know that as well.
Oh, thank you. That is great.
Okay.
And I have a client who goes for a walk every single morning, does not listen to anything. And it really inspires her when she comes back to move forward on her business. But she has to have that walk every single day.
See? So you just said move forward. Your body is moving forward.
Yes.
Yes, and that's like like it's telling the universe we want to go forward. Yes, we want to go forward. You're walking forward. Yep.
Yeah.
Going forward.
There you go. All right.
Great.
So May.
Love your tools.
Thank you. I love your explanations on how numerology can help us because I have seen it work, and obviously your clients have. Yes. And so that's great. So remember, May, number 4, there is a calendar in the show notes. There we'll put our resources that we said, the books and the podcast, and also the workbook that I created that has journal prompts and to help you, go big, get dreamy with your vision so that you can create your roadmap
and see the goal. So big, so far. Yeah. And I will see you for June. We're going to do this again, yeah?
Oh, heck yeah. I love this.
The whole year. Okay, awesome.
Yes. Everyone, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can get our updates for the next months ahead.
Oh, and I'll have, I'm updating my YouTube channel, so I'll have some more examples on there as well.
Sweet.
Okay.
Thank you, Tricia. We will see you in June.
Yes.
Bye.